Chip's Corner on U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Grounded. Spray smarter and improve herbicide performance with Grounded, a multifunctional adjuvant from Helena.
Time now for Chip's Corner. Well, starting on Monday, USDA Undersecretary Alexis Taylor will lead a trade mission to India. She will lead a delegation of 47 businesses and organizations, along with officials from 11 state departments of ag. It's being seen as a major effort to build trade relations with India. AgriTalk's Chip Flory, you had a chance to speak to Taylor ahead of that trip this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great opportunity to have a conversation with Alexis Taylor, the USDA Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Affairs. 58 different individuals and organizations, Tyne. Talk about herding cats, and you're putting them all on on one transport into India to talk about trade with a country that holds a lot of potential for for US trade going forward, but has been a very difficult partner to build a relationship with in the past. So we asked Undersecretary Taylor, how exactly are you going to make it happen? How are you going to build that relationship?
For those nearly 25 businesses, we will set them up with importer meetings, almost like speed dating, where they will have an action-packed, jam-packed meeting schedule to showcase their products, make relationships, and either it maybe expand if they're already exporting to India, or build those first-time relationships and get sales on the ground. We know this works. I just came back from Korea, where I led a trade mission, and what we had is $70 million in projected 12-month sales coming out of those nearly 600 business-to-business meetings.
Yeah, we know this works. Did you hear her say that? That I think is very important. And you know what, Tyne? It better work because these trade missions are the trade policy of the Biden administration. And it's not like there are major negotiations happening to create free trade agreements with multiple countries around the world. It is the one on one conversation that the Biden administration is relying on to build trade relations. Now, it's not that different than what the Trump administration had in place. And going forward for the next 4 years, I think it's something that agriculture had better get used to. And I don't know how happy ag is because for the first time in fiscal year 2023, we've got an ag trade deficit in this country, $16.7 billion. And a lot of ag traders would just assume that we flip flop that trade balance going forward.
Well, and one of the criticisms has been that with the Biden administration, we've seen their trade policy pretty much stuck in neutral. But Chip, this week,
Mhm.
President Biden announcing he's considering tripling U.S. tariffs
Yeah.
on steel from China. So we're seeing some news, and this is a flip flop from us always talking about Trump and possibly tariffs there. Well, it seems like President Biden's taking a note out of his playbook.
Yeah, President Biden was never interested in removing the tariffs that President Trump put in place on China, the Chinese steel and aluminum in particular under the Section 301. Those tariffs are going to remain in place. And just through the policy of the US and attitude, I guess, toward China, we continue to see a pattern of retaliation from China to US agriculture in particular. They've gone to Brazil for corn and soybeans now, and it's going to take a lot of work to get that demand back in the US.
I have a feeling we'll be talking about this more as we get closer to the election. Chip Flory, host of AgriTalk. You can catch him twice a day. That's AgriTalk AM as well as AgriTalk PM. Thanks so much, Chip. All right. Planting, it's at a standstill for some, but an impressive planting pace for others. But what are the sins that you can make during planting? We're going to ask two of the best, Ken Ferry, Miss C. Bauer. They join us next.